I went to the cinema last night, hot dog.
Ah, yes.
You know what I saw? The black.
The Joker?
No, that's not the Joker. That's the black phone. The Joker. That's not the Joker. The Joker came out years ago. What do you mean the Joker?
Sequel announced. You got a special screening of it.
Well, they haven't started filming that yet. It's not the Joker. It's the black phone, hot dog. You never seen these posters everywhere? The black phone?
I do. And I always go, oh, the Joker movie.
No, it's the black phone starring Ethan Hawke. I'm not going to do any spoilers because it literally just came out like last night. Today's the official release date at the time of this video. Hot dog, this Ethan Hawke. First of all, I love a horror movie that sells you on a mask. This is the foundation of horror movies. And I promise you, this is the mask for Halloween this year. This is going to be it. The whole concept, I mean, everybody knows about this movie. Nobody knows anything about this movie. Everybody knows the mask. Hot dog, you sat there and you said, what's that, the Joker movie? You know why you think that? Because the only thing you know is the mask. The mask. It's all.
I didn't know it was even a horror movie. I thought it was like a heist or something.
It does look like it could be like The Town or something like that, right?
Yeah.
No, yeah. I mean, wow. I hope people aren't expecting like a fun heist movie because it's a child abduction horror movie. It's very dark. It's it's a heavy movie.
Well, good to know. I mean, I saw Ethan Hawke on the poster, and I was like, oh, this is
training day. One of those training day with masks on. This is great. No, Ethan Hawke plays a child abductor in the 70s. It's much more sinister than anything you would have expected. Hot dog. No. This is not a heist, and it doesn't even take place in Massachusetts. It takes place in Colorado. You know, but it's genius the way they did the mask, because the mask is actually like the full thing is two parts. So you see like the jagged lines. There's a second part. So there's half the mask covers the bottom half of his face, which is the nose and the mouth, and the top half covers his eyes and is also like has horns or whatever it is. It covers the whole first half of his face, but they're interchangeable. So there's multiple top halves and multiple bottom halves. So whenever he's got this mask on, it's like the mask is showcasing whatever his personality is at the time. There's a version of the mask with no mouth at all. It just goes down flat. Like there's a version where it's frowning. It's really, really cool. And I'll tell you what, you know who made those masks?
Oh.
The good folks, Jason Baker and the good folks of Tom Savini Studios, also responsible for The Fiend. Bray Wyatt. Yep. Same dude.
Awesome. That's
Same
cool.
dude made all the masks for this movie. Yeah, and it's really, I loved it. I love horror movies, but I especially liked this movie. It's not like it's heavy. You know, there's a weight to it because of mainly the child abduction, you know? And especially, you know, most people think child abduction is bad. But when you have kids, I think that child abduction gets worse because you, believe it or not, think about your own children and what a bummer that would be.
Bummer.
Yeah, major bummer. And it's tough to really explain everything going on in this movie without giving any spoilers. But Ethan Hawke obviously plays the abductor. I guess they don't set that up in the very beginning of the movie, but I don't think they're making this poster with Ethan Hawke in that creepy mask. And then they're announcing, hey, there's a child abductor. And anybody's in the movie theater going, I wonder who it is. Definitely not the guy on the poster, right? But yeah, so it follows this kid. His name's Finn. And he lives in Colorado, and I think it's like 1978. And kids keep getting kidnapped around him. You know, like this town is being inundated, and it works in 1978 because I would imagine it was much easier to abduct kids before technology and cell phones and all that
Amber
stuff.
Alert.
Yeah, these Amber Alerts are full.
Ignore.
I guess. Yeah, that would be the modern day horror movie. Is just everybody ignoring all these Amber Alerts. Like, I'm right here. Shut up. I'm trying to watch my American Idol. I'm trying to watch my show. Shut up, phone. Yeah, the black phone of 2022 just goes ignored. Ignore. Do not disturb.
Another one missing.
Yeah. So, I mean, what's great about this is that you do have to hang out for the whole film, right? This isn't the type of movie where there's a bunch of bullshit, and then there's a big climax. Like, if you go to the bathroom, like if you remember we were talking about Ambulance a couple of weeks ago, and I said,
yeah,
if you skipped over like the middle 40, you'd probably still be fine.
That's a lot of time.
Yeah. It's a huge amount of time. First of all, this movie is considerably shorter than Ambulance, clocking in at an hour and 44 minutes, which is a much more standard length of a film.
Sweet spot.
Yeah, Ambulance is 2.5 hours. And yes, if you missed even 10 minutes in the middle of this film, it would cost you. You'd be lost. It wouldn't be a good thing. You got to watch the whole movie because it does all, like, sometimes when you're watching movies, you assume things are being thrown in there as filler. You know what I mean? You assume like, oh, this is just a thing that we're doing because we got to clock in at a certain amount of time or whatever. This movie does a really good job of, in the end, having everything count. To me, at the end of the movie, all these things that you didn't necessarily knew counted, all of it counted. You know what I mean? So it ends up being very satisfying, and it actually feels like somebody did a little work making this. Like a writer wrote this. You know what I mean? I think it's based on a short story where a kid gets kidnapped and there's a room with a black phone in it. I don't want to tell you much else. I really don't.
What kind of phone is it? It's like it's not an iPhone.
Okay, no, it's not an iPhone. It is the 70s. Imagine if it was like, that'd be so cheesy. If it was like, what's this? I've discovered technology. And then somebody comes down and they go, hey, don't tell anybody you found this, Steve. And you're like, it's Steve Jobs.
I get that. Yeah. I know that reference.
Yeah, no. It's okay, that I will tell you. It's like an old school rotary phone, but the wire's cut on it. So it's not plugged into anything. However, it starts to ring.
What?
Yes.
How is this possible?
Well, that's part of the mystery and intrigue. It starts to ring. And again, like I said, you start to figure out like, oh, I see what's going on here. I see what this is. And then slowly all the pieces of the puzzle start coming together that you didn't even realize were pieces of the puzzle as you start to put this thing together.
Forget the horror movie element and the kidnapping and all that stuff. I'm interested in how that damn black phone works without the wires.
Well, you'll find out. They do tell you. I mean, they kind of, yeah, you know. I mean, there's a little bit of suspension of disbelief, obviously, but you can roll with it. And there's a lot of blunt force trauma in it. That I can say without spoilers. Lots of blunt trauma. They decided, like, let's not shy away from the violence. You probably could do this movie without as much blood. But they decided, no. Let's get some blood in this thing, which I appreciated, actually. I enjoyed the blunt force trauma of it all. Yeah. I had a really good time. With it. I thought it was, and, you know, first of all, it's very difficult to create a movie that revolves around a kid. Like, kid actors are generally not that good. You know, they almost never have experience. They're generally children. But this kid pulled it off for sure. But I really think, like, the heavy-duty acting is Ethan Hawke, dude. Ethan Hawke he's the man. He could pull off anything. I mean, this guy is like this, like, you know, he's doing this in Training Day. Ethan Hawke, I'm pretty sure, could do anything. He's a kind of a half of a deadbeat dad in that movie Boyhood that he filmed over the course of like 15 years or something like that. The dude's amazing.
I remember that seemed like a lot of work. Did anyone watch it?
I saw it. It was the gimmick. Boyhood. It was the gimmick. It was Ethan Hawke's great because he's great in everything. He got big for this movie though. He got kind of jacked up a little bit. He put some meat on his chest for this one. I appreciated that when I saw it. No spoilers.
Okay.
No spoilers, but we got a beefy chest is what I'm saying. Awesome.